Okay, hello everyone. Thank you so much for your patience as I dealt with technical difficulties. I'm actually in Florida right now, so I'm sure all you have heard about the hurricane and all that fun. So internet has been challenging to come by, to say the least, but I'm still here for y'all today, and we're gonna have some fun creatively. So welcome to Free Write Friday. My name is Jessica Lynn Johnson. I'm the founder of Soaring Solo Studios. And that's a company that's dedicated to developing, producing, directing, coaching, all things solo theater. And I work alongside Heather Dowling, who is also an accomplished soaring solo artist and director and coach and all those good things. And we work with people all over the world. And I travel quite a bit, and I go between my home bases of Los Angeles, where I live in Pasadena, as well as Orlando, Florida. So those are the places you can usually find me, and sometimes in South Carolina and St. Louis as well. Okay, so a little bit about my background for those of you who don't know me. I'm a solo artist myself. I toured for over 13 years with my two award-winning one-woman shows, and I'm also a blogger for NoHo Arts. If you've ever gone to the NoHo Arts website, be sure to look up Soaring Solo, and I have a blog that's all about being a solo artist and tips for touring and performing and writing and editing and all that stuff. So you can find that there. Um, what else can I tell you? I am also on the advisory board and the submission screening panel with the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival. So if you're interested in learning more about the LA Women's Theater Festival, just go to lawtf.org. And I personally have aided in the development and direction of about 200 solo shows at this point and helped with producing hundreds of solo shows. So it's certainly my passion. And I would love to hear more from you in the chat. So please let me know where you're at in your solo theater journey. Maybe you're at the beginning of your journey or just curious about this. Maybe you're pretty far along. Maybe you're on your third solo show, have some ideas floating around. Wherever you are is perfect. And hopefully today will get you a little further in the process. So Free Write Friday is just an opportunity for us to gather together and look at structure or anything about the writing process. It's not so much focused on performance, and it's not really a Q&A. That's more what my Saturday morning free classes are for. This is really just to talk more pragmatically about the process and also get some writing done. So today we're going to focus on the tones of your solo show versus the bones of your solo show. And so, what I mean by that, tones versus bones. So, tones, by my definition, would be things like comedic tones, vulnerable, sarcastic, dark, serious, dramatic, raw, depressing, uplifting, the tone of your solo show and of your writing. And then the bones is the plot points, the structure, the main characters, who's the protagonist, what is the dramatic question, those sorts of things. Those are the bones. So oftentimes when I coach with solo artists, they will write, they'll allow themselves to write a first draft of something and they get really focused on the tone. So they'll say something like, oh gosh, this feels so raw and so personal. Do I really want to put this on stage? Do I really want my aunt to know this about my sexual history if she comes and sees the show? Or do I want my dad to know that I aired our dirty laundry of domestic violence on the stage, or whatever the case may be? Solo artists start to get focused on the tone. It's too raw. Or, oh, this is so depressing. Am I just going to depress my artist if I talk about my mental health struggles or the sexual trauma that I've lived through, or things like that? And the problem with focusing on tone before the bones is that you block yourself. You get way ahead, you go way down the line, and you don't even allow yourself to go through the process of creating the solo show because you shut yourself down way too early in the process. So what I would invite you to do is to instead focus on the bones. And that means you write something and you go, okay, interesting. It seems like here's some themes in my work that's coming up. Maybe it's mental health, maybe it's sexual trauma, maybe it's veganism, maybe it's spiritual stuff, whatever it is. You start to look for themes and topics. Who are the characters that keep coming up in your writing? Maybe it is your family members, maybe it's your lovers, maybe It's your pets. Who are the characters that are coming to life, and those sorts of things. So you focus a little bit more on the pragmatic side of things and not so much on the tone. So for example, if you wrote a piece about your mental health and you realize, wow, this feels like it has a really depressing tone, and I'm a really funny person and I want to bring humor. Trust that you're a funny person and you will bring humor, but that this isn't the time for it right now. Right now is just generating the content. So I'll give an example with Stan Zimmerman. Some of you who have coached with me before have probably heard this example, but Stan Zimmerman is one of the main writers on, or was one of the main writers on the Golden Girls, which obviously is a hilarious show and did very well for itself. And he talked about this sort of belief system that I'm talking about right now in his own words. But he would say that when they were first writing an episode, it would be about the story structure, it'd be about the plot points, what's happening in this episode of the show. And then the next pass, the second, third, fourth draft of the script, that's when it would get all the one-liners, all the funny punchlines that people said, the character nuances of what each person was like on the show, and that's when those things were enhanced. But in the beginning, it was about the plot points and where's the story going. So, with all of that said, I would love for you to, I'm going to give you 8 minutes, and I just want you to ask yourself, what would I write about if I was not worried about the tone of my show? If I wasn't worried about being too raw, if I wasn't worried about being politically correct, if I wasn't worried about being funny, if I wasn't worried about being safe, if I wasn't worried about being entertaining or making sense, what would I say? And I'm going to give you 8 minutes, and I want you to just write really freely and see what comes up for you and let yourself be really uncensored. And I will be back in 8 minutes to check in on you. So go for it. 4 minutes left. 4 minutes. About 1 minute left. 1 minute. Okay, please go ahead and wrap up your writing. Hopefully you got something good out of that. And as I said, the temptation is going to be to judge it, to start to look at the tone of it, to worry about who's going to see it, all those sorts of things. But just trust yourself and trust the process and just keep writing. The editor will come into the process later, and the editor is the one who can help with the tone. And you are the editor as well. But I just mean that part of your inner world joins the creative team later. So right now, just be the writer. just be the investigator and the explorer and the experimenter. And later you can let the editor in to start to shape the story and decide what stays and goes and who gets to see it and how you want to market it and what the tone is and all those things. But right now, just let yourself write and be free. Super important. Otherwise, we run into writer's block, which is no fun. So in the chat, I've put a lot of announcements of wonderful things happening in and outside of the Soaring Solo community. To start with, my free class that I've been teaching for almost 2 decades now is this coming, or not this Saturday, but Saturday, October 26th at 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central, and 1 p.m. Eastern. And that is called The Art of Creating the One-Person Show. And in that class, you can share what you've written if you'd like. We do writing prompts. You can also share things in the chat about anything you want to promote that you might be up to. So it's a great way to find community and be creative, and it's totally free. So just sign up via my website, soaringSoloStudios.com. If you ever wanted to work with Heather and I in a more professional capacity, you can email me about an initial consultation at soaringsoloartist@gmail.com. And what else? Revealed. So Revealed is a virtual reading series that Heather and I produce where a solo artist shows a work in progress, a script that needs some feedback from community before it hits the stage. And we produce all kinds of different solo shows. So if you're interested in learning more about Revealed, you can email me about that or fill out a contact form on my website. But the best thing to do is come and see a Revealed and see if you can picture yourself doing one. So we have Greta Fadness in Searching for Me in All the Wrong Places. That Revealed is coming up. I can't remember the date, but I did put it in the chat. So if you click on the link, you can find your way to the ticketing link. And Revealed is donation based. So whether you give $1 or $10 or whatever you want to do, it all goes towards the artist and their project. So you can tune in and share your insights on what is and isn't working with the script so that Greta can improve. Okay, and if you liked Free Write Friday and you want to come back, the next one is Friday, November 15th, 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Just sign up the same way you did today. And what else did I put in here? My YouTube channel. So on my YouTube channel, I have hundreds of videos, writing prompts, Free Write Friday recordings, guided meditation visualizations to help you generate content as well. And then all sorts of strategy sessions and things like that. So if you go to my YouTube channel, Soaring Solo Studios on YouTube, you will find me and all the hundreds of videos with lots of help. And let's see, the festival world is something that I really strongly believe in. I think especially if you're a beginning solo artist, but honestly, it's something good to do throughout your career as a solo artist. Becoming part of a festival and submitting to festivals allows you to gain laurels. It allows you to get reviews and accolades and nominations and awards, all sorts of things, build out your creative community and share your message with audiences that might be outside of your personal network. So let's see some festivals I listed here. The Binge Fringe Festival, that's at the Santa Monica Playhouse. The New York City Fringe Festival, I believe, is actually now called the Frigid Festival, as in cold, frigid festival. Orlando Fringe, Hollywood Fringe Festival, the Joshua Tree Solo Festival, although we're on hiatus right now. And the LA Women's Theater Festival. And then the Stars series is coming up this December. And Heather and I are co-producing that. We have 18 productions from within the Soaring Solo community that we're producing at the Zephyr Theater in West Hollywood. So if you can make your way to the Zephyr, it's going to be fantastic. We have so many great shows coming up. So just visit soaringSoloStudios.com for the lineup and start to get involved in the festival circuit. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I write for NoHo Arts. I have a blog on there, so I included my link to my Soaring Solo blog, and that's it. I think that's it. So thank you all. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we made it. So have a great day and enjoy your weekend.